Aquarius, so this is your reading. So first up you have the Hanged Man. Then you have the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and in the reverse challenging position for the week, you have the Four of Swords. And your kind of recommended outcome, or what is recommended for you to do, you have the Chariot. Okay, so I feel like this reading is very, very, it's really to the point. So, okay, here we go, guys. The Hanged Man is all about kind of taking some time out and looking at things in a different perspective, but you're doing that by pausing. You're actually pausing and you're taking time to look at things differently. Now, the Seven of Swords could be a card of sneakiness, but in this reading for you, I really feel like you're being strategic. It also is a card of strategy or needing to be strategic. I really think that, because the Ten of Wands is about having too many burdens. These are good burdens. These are productive burdens. These are things that you want and need to do, but you're kind of feeling bogged down and overloaded. So, and with the Four of Swords in reverse, this is all about really, like, it's about complete burnout. Like, you're doing too much. You're burning yourself out. You need to take a break. So I think for you guys that, I believe, because the Hangman for me is in your recent past. It's in like kind of all the energy, but something that you've been already experiencing. So I think you've been taking that pause, or even if you're still working on or dealing with all these burdens, you're kind of taking a moment to figure out, well, how am I going to do this? Because I am worn out. Because I feel like with this energy, I think that this Four of Swords, you've been feeling worn out. I think you're on the verge of burnout, and I think you've been realizing that, and I think you're trying to figure out how to do this, because I think whatever's going on here, this Ten of Wands where you have all your responsibilities, they're not things you could just be like, forget it. I don't need that. I don't need to pick up little Johnny from school today and just walk home. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's stuff that you need to do and you need to continue to do. But I think this is saying that you've been realizing that you're worn out, and you've probably been worn out for a while, and it's getting worse. So I think you've been realizing this, and I think by this pause you've been kind of realizing that, like, I have to do things more strategically. And I feel like the Seven of Swords is you trying to figure out how to complete everything more in a strategic way. Like, can you delegate some of these things? Like, what can you do to kind of make this a little bit easier for you so you're avoiding this burnout? Because I still feel like you're feeling like you're having this burnout moment, because it's a lot. I feel like you guys are going through a lot, but the Chariot is all about kind of overcoming obstacles and moving forward. So I really believe that you're going to figure out how to overcome this feeling worn out. Like, however you're going to do this, I think you're having this moment where you're definitely aware that you can't keep continuing at the pace you're continuing right now, that you're going to have to rethink the wheel. And with the Seven of Swords, it's kind of be more strategic about how to handle all these responsibilities, because I definitely think that this you're worn out. So I think you're going to do that. You're still going to go forward, but I think you're going to be overcoming this feeling so bogged down. I think somehow you're going to figure out how to overcome this, and maybe you have to delegate. Maybe certain responsibilities are not as important as others, or maybe you can figure out a better schedule where you're still staying sane, like you're still able to handle everything, but it's not feeling so overwhelming and so exhausting to you. So I think you're definitely on that, trying to figure that out. And I definitely think I feel like with the Chariot here is saying that you're going to do it. Like, you have to figure it out. You have to do this. You have to overcome this somehow. You have to strategically figure out how to more effectively carry all of this so that you're not always feeling so, like, worn out or bogged down or just like on the verge of just not being able to handle it. So I think you're going to figure it out, though. So next up, let's look at the oracles. You have Cleanse. Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. Reconnect. Secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. An adventure. Live wild and free. So I feel like you have to somehow see the cleanse. To me, could mean that maybe some of these responsibilities you have, maybe some of them are not all like absolute necessary ones. Maybe there's some of them that you can actually omit or restructure in a way where you can kind of put them down or save them for a later date, whatever that is. So I feel like this is saying really look at your schedule, look at what you're carrying, and is everything really, do you need to carry it all by yourself? So you might have to cleanse and really prioritize what is the more important things. Now, the reconnect, I feel like with the reconnect, I feel like this, in a sense, to me is saying that sometimes when you feel so worn out, you kind of have, I don't want to say you've lost yourself, but sometimes it's like you don't have enough time for yourself to kind of recharge your batteries. So I think this could be saying if you're take some time to reconnect to something that you enjoy, including the adventure card. Like if you enjoy something and it kind of sparks that creative interest or that happiness in you, sometimes that's the most powerful thing to kind of recharge your battery and get you out of this like exhaustion phase. Like if you change something up a little bit or do something that you really enjoy, it almost like it kind of helps recharge you. So I think you might need to have even if it's a little adventure, even whatever, a little adventure, if it's taking a walk around the neighborhood or do something that is not so involved in this constant like heavy responsibility feeling, even if it's just for 30 minutes, do something for yourself where it kind of like gives you a little bit of that time back to focus on you again or make you feel happy. And I think you need to reconnect to whatever that is, because I feel like I don't think you're going to be able to really let all of this go. I think you're going to still continue with it, but I think you need to figure out a way to kind of keep your sanity. Because the Chariot, he's all about moving forward. He's not stopping. Like, he's not like, oh, we hit a bump in the road, we're going to stop here. No. He's like, okay, we're going to go over that bump or we're going to go around the bump. But the bump isn't going to be, it's not stopping us. We're going. So I think like these burdens are not going to stop you. I just think you need to figure out a way to make them tolerable in a sense, you know? And then you got retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. And it could be some of these burdens could be having to do with some type of like, I don't like to say social media stuff, but sometimes like we get kind of wrapped up in certain things and sometimes it just bogs us down in a sense and it like stresses us out more than it really needs to. So I think from whatever this is, I feel like with the reconnect and the adventure, like having a retreat, a little time for yourself, because even with the Hangman, he's about pausing and taking time to look at things a little differently and having that enlightened moment of like, okay, you know what, I was doing it this one way, I don't think this is really working, let me try to figure out something else. And then I think with that you're going to wind up kind of having this sneaky, like, but this, I feel like in this case, this sneakiness is not a bad sneakiness. This is like strategic sneakiness. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe I could do it this way. It's going to kind of cut off all that excess thing. And we're going to kind of get more to the point with this. So it frees up some time. I think you're going to figure out a way to kind of make these burdens a little bit easier load for you. So I think that's really great. So now, next up, you have doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. So I feel like this is saying don't doubt yourself. Like whatever you're doing, I feel like you're doing it and you're doing it well. I just think it's draining you. But in that, don't doubt that you can't get it done or you can't have more of a strategic way of doing it. I feel like you need to believe in yourself and figure out how can I continue this but do it in a way where it's not totally draining me, you know? And then you have gentleness, which this is saying about be gentle to yourself, be gentle to your situation. So I think you need to kind of be gentle to yourself. Because I feel like if you're feeling bogged down and you're feeling so worn out from all of this, you can kind of get hard on yourself. Like, you know, you could be like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z, this person over here seems to do it without a problem. Why can't I do it? So don't have those kind of negative thoughts. Like, you can do it. You just have to be gentle with yourself. And if you feel tired, you feel tired. You know, if you need to somehow figure out, schedule some time in for yourself, schedule that time in for yourself. So, because you're going to go through it. I don't think you're stopping. Whatever this is, you're not stopping. You're going to go forward and you're probably going to hit another speed bump in the road. But I think this is just saying that you just need to go forward in a little bit more of a strategic way to kind of overcome this. And don't forget time for yourself. I think that's really what is the, because I think you guys are really worn out. I think you're feeling really kind of just worn out, or if it's just too much at times, you know? So, okay. Think of a question for the Magic 8 Ball we will ask in a second. But first, let's answer. What spirit of the dish shall be with you guys in the upcoming week? You guys got the slurp. So the spirit of the ramen noodle shall be with you. So there you guys go. And then let's see what a dinner and a movie the universe recommends for you. What dinner and a movie for my Aquariuses? What dinner and a movie for my Aquariuses? Oh, you got Italian and romance. Somebody else got Italian and romance too. So there you guys go. You got Italian and romance, which sounds absolutely nice. And then, let's see. So we got U, W, O, F, Q, Y, Y, P, and then you have 652. And then let's see what little stone. And these ones stuck to my fingers. So, let's see what we got here. Okay, so you have believe, wisdom, and clarity. So I feel like this is saying you got to believe in yourself. You know? I think this is saying, where am I going to put these guys? Where am I putting these guys? I feel like the wisdom is going to go with the Hanged Man, because this run represents having that enlightened moment. And I feel like you guys are having that enlightened moment where you're realizing that how you've been doing things, you have to do it in a different way. I think you have to figure out a way to make it more tolerable and more efficient. I think you have to streamline is what I'm saying. So I think you're having that enlightened moment that you can't continue on like this. You need to streamline something. And I think the believe, I'm going to put it, where do I want to put it? So I think I'm going to put the believe on the Six of Swords, because I feel like you need to believe that there's more of a strategic way to go about this. Whatever is kind of bogging you down, you need to know in your heart that there is a better way to do something, and you need to find a better strategic way for you to overcome this situation. And then the clarity, I'm going to put it with the Chariot, because I feel like the Chariot represents like you're going to hit more obstacles, and maybe one of these ways that you're going to figure out to help with this situation, this burden situation, it might not always work out perfectly. Like you might think of one strategic way that you think is going to be good, and it turns out, you know what, it didn't really work out as great as you had hoped. So you need to reinvent that wheel. You got to figure out a different way. So I think you have to keep believing that there is a better way to do it. And if it's not quite the way you initially figured out, you just have to go back to that drawing board and figure out a different way. And I feel like the clarity is really that moment where when you move forward with anything, you're always going to hit some kind of obstacle. There's always the shenanigans are out there, and they're running about. They're always out there. So you're going to hit one of the shenanigans again. You might go around the first speed bump or the first pothole or whatever, and then all of a sudden another shenanigan and pothole pops up. So you're going to always be maybe having to kind of figure out, be a little bit more strategic along the way. But I think, and I feel like the clarity is saying that like you have to be realistic to your expectations as well regarding everything that you're kind of carrying at the moment. So I feel like that's definitely that. So I definitely think that kind of, that's what I got here for that. Okay, guys. Okay, Aquariuses. Now it is time. Think of your question, and here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8 ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Aquarius's question? You may rely on it. There you guys go. The 8 ball has spoken. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.